right, so when interviewing the victim, you want to remember to reinforce the victim's emotional well-being, okay? They are very traumatized, especially, when they think that they're at fault. And you're there to obtain all the facts about what had happened. And once they start talking, let them talk. Do not interrupt. It's like, okay, we went to the bar with some friends. Oh, what friends did you go with? And you start writing notes, right? And it's like, oh, and we got there. What time did you get there, right? Totally disrupts it. Let them tell the story. Let them get it out of what happened. Once they get everything out, okay, listen, because you're getting paid to listen, right? You're a professional. And then once everything's out, it's like, hey, I know that was hard, right? Tough situation. I totally get it. And you have the courage to tell me what happened. And we're going to get this person. I'm going to try my best, because you can't guarantee everything, right? If everything was guaranteed, we'd all be rich. And then go over the details again. Like, okay, explain to me what happened again. I'm going to take some notes this time. Is that okay with you? To make sure I have everything right, okay? And like this says, despite this, shut up. Don't say anything, right? Don't talk. All right, so you obtain the facts, and there's going to be people with psychological needs. The good thing is, once you guys get in the force, they have all kinds of counselors available, all kinds of different sites available in order to help these people, okay? The interview is the most important location, right? When you make the interview, you want to make sure that you put the person at ease. If they feel like it's okay to be in their home, go to their home. Make them feel at ease no matter where they're at. You don't want to put them in a real sterile situation and have them come down to the police department because it's already bad enough, and put them in a position where they're going to be okay, all right? Again, interviewing the victim is establishing the behavior profile. It says ending the victim interview here is this is how the perpetrator maintain control. Let me touch on that a little bit. That is the MO of most of these assaults. Okay, whatever assault it is a need for control. Okay, so how was the control obtained over the victim? That is an important. Is it just verbal? Was it physical? And if so, how? So you want to make that accomplish that, all right? Always explain what's going to happen next. Like, don't leave them out in the dark. What will happen to them? It's like, okay, I'm here initially. Detectives are going to follow up, or if you are the detective, you're following up. Explain the process of what's going to happen next. You're going to give them a case number and a file number so they have it in the future for whatever they need. Okay. All right, so follow-up investigation. You're going to follow up investigation here, 2 to 5 days, right? So they can process everything that has taken place, talking to you, talking to Rape Crisis, talking to family and friends, a lot of processing that's happening. So 2 to 5 days, contact, follow up, make sure the statements, if anything has changed, you remember something different now. They might have something different, like, oh my gosh, my friend told me that they took a picture of the guy with a cell phone. We were out dancing and they took a picture and stuff like that. Okay, interview everybody that's involved. Okay, everybody that's involved, make sure they interview. Any witnesses? Same thing like you do any crime. You're going to go door to door to see if they saw anybody coming or going. Interview as many people as possible related to the crime, acquaintances, because you're going to go back to the fact that in one aspect or another, this victim knows a suspect, okay? In one aspect or another, they know this as a suspect. Okay, sex offenders, right? Worst perverts in the world. Absolutely the worst, okay? So we already went over the registry, the sex offenders, right? And the different classifications that they have. A lot of times these guys like to go to court, and just up to the point where they have to face the public. They'll keep it going, till they have to, because they relive all their sickness in their mind because they get their hands, whatever their attorneys have, they get the same paperwork, and they can sit over there and go over the paperwork, and they're just sick individuals in the head, okay? And they usually know their victims, and they know them in one aspect or another of knowing them. All right, so this is something when you're taking a suspect into custody and talking to him. Very important, because everything is recorded, right? Everything is recorded. You tell your victims ahead of the time you're going to do whatever is needed in order to obtain a confession from the individual, okay? So when they go to court, it looks like, boy, my gosh, it almost looks like they're BFFs in the interview room, right? Talking all about all this case, because the suspect, if the way you come after him, it's like, oh, whoa, this is so cool. Oh my gosh, she was only 14. She looked 18. Oh, that happens all the time, huh? Right? But inside, what you want to do is like, right? That's what you feel like doing. But you can't do that because you're a paid professional, right? We're not judge, jury, and executioner. And nor do you want to piss away your entire career for some animal like this, who your primary objective is to gather enough evidence so the district attorney has enough evidence in order to prosecute the individual, okay? Obviously, if there's more than one suspect, divide them up, right? Divide and conquer, divide and conquer, divide and conquer. The main suspect that you believe during the course of investigation should be the very last person involved. And here's where, at the beginning, when you talk, it is nothing like the movies, nothing like, oh, name your best cop show, right? Where they walk in with a matter of what, 3 to 8 minutes max, right? They have a full confession. They're throwing stuff around, pounding the tables, getting the guy's face, hitting him, kicking him. It's not that way, okay? Longest one I had, 8 hours. 8 hours with a suspect of a drive-by shooting in which somebody died, right? We ordered pizza. Sat there with a suspect. Here I'm eating pizza, right? With a guy. Because you're wanting to build a rapport with them. Hey, look at me. I'm human too. I'm eating pizza with you. We're sitting there talking about your shooting, whatever it is, okay? So that's what I'm talking about. And that's what you tell the victim, because when they see the audio in court, they're like, wow, it looks like you guys are best friends. But the point is, you're trying to obtain as much information as possible from the suspect. All right. So the prosecution, what they need for a conviction, right, is the medical evidence of what you're going to obtain early on. Any clothing, like I talked to you earlier about the example, right? Evidence of any injuries and complaint reported reasonably close to the time of assault. All right. So the sex offender registry notification is also listed on the internet. You guys know about that. The good thing is if you have to put on a tracker and anything registered with their vehicles, and flag, driver's license, and vehicle registration for being a sex offender. All right, so what I want you guys to do from this information here is I want you to write a scenario. Oh my goodness, excuse me. I want you to write a scenario about a crime, okay? Lay out the details, explain what crime it is, right? So I want to make sure you guys cover the crime and the elements leading up to the crime, and what evidence obtained that you created in your scenario in order to get a conviction in court, okay? So you're going to really have to put on your thinking caps. You're going to have to develop a crime, right? And then obviously you have all the information here of what you're going to do first, second, third, fourth. So it shouldn't be 15 or 20 sentences long, right? It's going to be a pretty in-depth assignment where you cover everything in order to get the full points. Alrighty, that is going to be the end of this. And here's the summary. You can read it for yourself. All right, we'll see you guys next module. Hang in there. You guys are almost there. See the light at the end of the tunnel. All right, bye-bye.